I want to first start off by commending Devin here by really applauding his decision to go sit vigil for the outgoing D.C. Police Chief, Pamela Smith, who decided to address her haters at her walkout ceremony.
Such a brave one.
I think it's really great that you're doing this. It's really kind of you.
Yeah.
In fact, let's play. I think you were in the audience at the time that she was playing what she said, and I'm really proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
Here
Thank
you go.
you.
Yeah, you bet.
So I'm going to the Bible when I say this to my haters. F you. No, it's not a drop the mic moment. Watch me in this space. I forgive you. I forgive you. Because the Bible makes it very clearly. When Jesus was hanging on the cross, what he said to us, Father, even in the pit of agony and defeat, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. God bless you and God keep you. It has been my pleasure to serve the District of Columbia for 2.5 years. It does not matter what goes on from here, but as the mayor said, there's greater things in store for Pamela A. Smith. Mama, I love you. Papa D, I love you.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I did not know that Jesus had said F you before he said, I forgive you. That's new to me. I'm learning about Christianity all the time.
They censor the Bible so much.
She clearly knows her Bible much
yeah.
better than you and me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
She can compare herself to Jesus, so.
Oh yeah,
she
no, she
knows
was
it way
definitely
better.
she is in fact Jesus. In fact, she knows Jesus better than Jesus himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Anyway, so good luck to you on that vigil.
Thank you.
And I'm very impressed also that you're going to apparently, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Right.
You said that you're also going to fly directly from there to the vigil in Wisconsin to set vigil for that judge in Wisconsin who was found guilty of obstruction charges. Good for you.
What did she do, really?
Yeah.
She showed somebody the door.
She's compassionate.
Yeah.
She cares about people, unlike you Republicans.
Yeah. She's the savior.
She's a sweetie pie, too.
She is.
Yeah. I want to get to know her better.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole country does. We got to get her an interview.
You know, if I weren't a married man. All right. We're being silly now.
Yeah.
Look, this is, I mean, it's really, I love the fact that these people are being caught for what they're doing. Now, by the way, Pamela, what was her name? Pamela Smith? Yeah. She, the police woman who said the FU comment, so thoughtful, so, deep.
So brave.
Yeah, oh, brave.
So
brave by all
articulate,
means, yes. I don't know whether that was a farewell speech or a sermon of some kind, the black church sort of thing. Okay, fine. If it works for you, God bless you, as they say. All right, but she was the one who was accused of altering numbers in the crime statistics and in D.C.
Yeah.
to make it look like there's no need for you to send troops into D.C., President Trump. But, of course, she was lying. And, I suspect that she's insisting earlier on in the speech that you're just wrong. That was not nice for you to accuse me of that because I would never do such a thing. Anybody who knows me knows I would never do such a thing.
Yeah.
So there.
Yep.
So there you go. You're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad about having suggested it.
You should, because she's a feminist, so she's not a cook, and only cooks cook the books.
Ooh, I like
that
this.
probably would have helped her. If she had that.
I like that line. I'm going to throw that in right after the FU comment.
Yeah. Okay, FU. And
that's right.
No, FU first, yeah.
So you said the word feminist, right? I just realized, I had an epiphany the other day, that what do the words feminist, atheist, and liberal have in common?
I don't know.
You can never define them correctly.
Ooh.
Right? All of them will tell you.
Intriguing.
Yeah, isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
It's like pinning Jell-O to the wall with these people. You ask any feminist, what is feminism?
Yeah.
And they won't be able to give you a straight answer. It'll be 15 different definitions.
Yeah.
If they ask you, as a guy, your answer is, I have no clue, and I know whatever I say is going to be considered wrong by you. So go. You tell me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the lefties.
Yeah.
They get really upset when you say that the left is the same as the far left, is the same as the Democrats. Okay, well, that's very cute.
Right.
But we can't discuss who you are. You're all crazy.
Yeah.
I guess that you have in common. But shall we start with the definition that way? Crazy, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the way to go.
Right.
And the same thing for atheists.
Yeah.
You ask, atheism to me means somebody who doesn't believe that there's a God. In fact, knows that there's no God.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. And you say that, and all these atheists, really push back on that. That is just not the case. We are ones who simply seek evidence of God, and you don't have it, and that's what we. Okay.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of playing this game. Whereas people who are conservative, they don't play that game. We say we believe in the original values that brought Western civilization here.
Right.
And we conserve that. We conserve the older values because we think that they work, and there's a reason why those values came to pass in the first place.
Yeah.
It's so funny. These people believe in evolution, right? And we've come to these values by way of evolution throughout thousands of years. Right?
Yeah.
John Locke, Descartes, all the philosophers that came before the founding fathers, and then of course the founding fathers themselves. And now we've come to the conclusion that limited government is good, that free speech is a right given to us by God, likewise with the right to bear arms and so forth, and the Bill of Rights.
Right.
That family is great, that capitalism is great, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the things that we come to through evolution.
Right.
But they don't believe in that kind of evolution.
No.
That's the kind of evolution they reject.
Right.
No such thing.
Yeah.
But the crap evolution that they do believe in, which is the biological one, that a fish has become a man somehow, that you're crazy if you don't believe them.
Right.
So, just you understand, they don't believe in some kinds of evolution.
Yeah.
Only the crazy kinds of evolution. That's what they do believe in.
And they believe the Constitution evolving. When it says freedom of speech,
Oh, good point.
No, it's evolving.
Oh my gosh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So it's okay when it evolves in their direction.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
I don't know if it always works out that way. I'm sure they sacrifice somehow, but
But they respect it somehow. I mean, they want to destroy America. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Okay. That is one of the defining concepts of liberals,
Right.
I believe. Oh, what are you talking about? We love America. Okay, fine. What do you love about America?
Yeah.
And you'll hear virtually nothing, except for something like, we love the promise of America. Well, what's the promise of America?
Yeah.
What who's promising anything to you? What is it? So you envision, like, the founding fathers have this idea that America will be a great country because why?
Yeah.
Because transgenders will be able to roam around freely, and gays will be able to have gay sex in front of you. Is that the idea?
Pure John Hancock. That was what Hancock signed.
Apparently, that's what he meant. Yeah, but no, they meant very clearly. If you're talking about the promise of America,
Right.
that means that you're talking about the founding fathers.
Yeah.
And the promise of the founding fathers was limited government, checks and balances, right to bear arms, free speech, no unlawful search and seizure, and all the things that we treasure as conservatives. So, what is it that you're hearkening to when you talk about the promise of America?
Right.
They just don't have the answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This may actually lead to my theme quite nicely, and this theme is about cause and effect.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about this before, but I'm really interested. Like, do liberals know the consequences of what they want? Okay. Do they want what they claim to want?
Yeah.
In other words, what's the phrase? Be careful what you want, you just might get it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So all those three kind of questions, do they want what they want?
Yeah.
And the obvious areas of concern. So crime. When you think about crime, you think about how they're having what is cashless bail. You don't need to criminalize certain kinds of behavior. If you do criminalize them, then it's a very reduced sentence possible.
Right.
Okay. All right. I get that, but do they get that?
Yeah.
Do they understand there are consequences? Did they think that will mean the same amount of crime, less crime, more crime? What is it?
Right.
And the answer to you and me is obvious. When you send out the signal that they will not be held accountable for stealing up to $1,000 at CVS or otherwise,
Yeah.
then why are you surprised that you get more crime?
Yeah.
And then there's also the not yet criminal aspect of it. I love talking about that because just imagine the guy that is not engaging in crime because he just doesn't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't really have the high level of morals, but he does understand what the law is, and he's just not going to do it because he doesn't feel like going to jail.
Yeah.
Got that. Now you're telling that guy that he's a sucker if he doesn't steal at least less than $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you're just encouraging more criminals.
Right.
Okay, that's another consequence. So cause and effect.
Yeah.
Then you got the homeless shelters business, right? The idea that, if you just let everyone out of these mental asylums and then you're surprised that we have these issues,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's mental illness. It sounds good. It makes you feel good. Let's let them out in the streets.
Right.
But these people are really, they're dangerously toxic. They can do anything to you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The randomness is what is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like you're walking down the street, you see another person coming down the street. You don't assume that he's going to jump you and stab you, right?
Yeah.
But when you see a homeless person, the smart thing to do is to run to the other side of the street and continue on from there.
Right.
Because, hopefully the homeless person is just not going to do anything, but you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, these attacks by homeless people are sudden. They come out at people out of nowhere. Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
You're going to have more of these kind of horrific attacks.
Yeah.
And you see these subway attacks, right? The homeless man who set this girl on fire, and then this other man who, stabbed this Ukrainian woman in the neck in the subway, in North Carolina.
Yeah.
There are too many examples of it.
Yeah.
I know from a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, this couple, these young girls that are coming to LA to visit, and there were some homeless guys at Hollywood, and they wanted to take a picture with him.
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Well, give me a couple $, and they said no, and he killed them. Or killed one of the girls, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they expected that.
Right.
It's a weird dynamic. These are mentally ill people on the streets, and then you're surprised why people are afraid to walk the streets.
Yeah.
It's not a good effect, cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, illegal immigration. There's the whole idea that if you let anyone in, everything's going to be just fine. And we're not just talking about rapes and murders, which is bad enough.
Right.
We're not talking about sex trafficking and drug trafficking, which, again, is bad enough, horrifically bad enough. We're also talking about the consequences of how unfair it is to everyone else who's trying to do this legally.
Right. Yes.
And they're not doing it legally.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that?
Yeah.
And then you have the housing shortage now, which is directly related to the massive amount of illegal aliens coming in.
Yeah.
We're now giving them housing that would otherwise go to legal immigrants or actual American citizens and residents.
Yeah.
And then we're surprised. I mean, these things have consequences.
Yeah.
And then transgenderism.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. When you kind of pollute the minds of young kids to think that they can be anything that they want in a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Is that healthy?
No.
Is that a good thing to kind of screw around with one of their major forms of identity? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really no different than asking a child whether he feels like being a giraffe today.
Yeah.
People always use that as an example. Oh, I feel like an elephant, but it's right to ask the question: why is that different?
Right.
Why would you confuse a child as to whether or not he's a human being?
Right.
Why is that distinction important? Why do you respect that distinction as opposed to the distinction between male and female?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're really screwing with these young kids. And they're going to go out in the world realizing they've been screwed up. But it's like a child who's been abused.
Completely. Yeah.
And he may not be abused anymore by his or her father or mother, and maybe they're dead, maybe they're gone, maybe they're in prison, whatever. But you're going to have to go to therapy for years on this. It never leaves you.
No.
And yet you're okay with doing that to kids.
Right.
These are the consequences.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks about that.
No.
Just not the liberals. You and I are.
Yeah.
And same thing with COVID. What happened with COVID, right? The massive, when COVID hit, you and I were here saying this is going to be a huge, and we went through a list of things that we could come up with, which all happens,
right?
Including the greater suicides, divorces, depressions, and it's going to change the dynamic of employer-employee, which it did, and it's going to create massive migration to different states, which it did. And it creates distrust and more polarizing.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of weaken the bonds of church and state and everything else. Anyway, so many things happen, and far worse than that ended up happening as well.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest consequences, and this is right at the tip of their nose. Is that the right expression? At the end of their nose? They can't see past the end of their nose.
Yeah.
This idea that you don't have to have children. Don't bother.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about those people who are not bothering with having children because they fear that global warming is going to come upon us.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just, they just don't want to have children because they don't want to have children. They don't want to be responsible for anything.
Yeah.
And that was never a thing.
Yeah.
People had children because you were expected to have children.
Yeah.
Having children was a good thing. Why? Because you were advancing society.
Yeah.
People don't get that.
No.
And it should be obvious to anyone that if you don't have children, if everyone decides not to have children, you're not going to have civilization anymore.
Right.
Does that matter to you?
Yeah.
Like, it matters to me. They claim to want to protect the future, especially with global warming, right?
Right.
But why do you care?
Yeah.
If there's not going to be a civilization that's going to notice that there's a trend upward in heat.
Right.
Not, putting aside whether I think that's garbage or not, which I do.
Yeah, it's completely, yeah.
But it's all weird how they pretend to care about the future, but they really don't.
Not at all.
By not having kids. So, in other words, if everyone decided, what would happen?
Yeah.
And the answer there is easy. Same thing, by the way, if everyone decides to be the opposite sex, one day. I mean, you do acknowledge that means that we won't have any more children, and that's probably a bad thing.
Yeah.
And likewise, if you encourage everyone to be gay, you're not going to have any children.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if that's your end goal, I get it.
Right.
But that is the effect of this embrace of transgenderism, homosexuality, polycules, and all that nonsense. And, of course, not having children itself. Just in case you're not interested in going gay, just in case you're not interested in transing, don't have any children.
Right.
Even if you do have heterosexual sex all the time.
Yeah.
Just by no means have any children.
Just abort it.
Yeah. And if you do, abort it.
Yeah.
What are the consequences of this?
Right.
I mean, it should be enough that you see the one-child policy in China.
Yeah.
And it's now collapsing before our eyes, which is not a bad thing from a, world politics point of view, the power play point of view.
Right.
But man, I mean, why couldn't they see it? The Chinese, I mean, it wasn't that basic. I mean, and their culture was such that they preferred boys.
Right.
So the abortions were going right and left. I mean, the one-child policy, they kept on having abortions all the time until they could have a boy. Weird.
Yeah.
And then now the men can't find women.
Right.
Because they've all been aborted.
Yeah. It's
these
brutal.
guys are, and now they're desperate to find more population. They're encouraging people. They're paying people to have children.
Yeah.
It's whiplash, my friends, whiplash. Okay. Anyway, that's cause and effect.
Yeah.
And I just gave several examples in areas of life where people just don't see the effect of these policies that they want to advance. And the question, Devin, really is for you, why?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard, for example, to ask the question we just said. If everyone goes gay, everyone goes trans,
Right.
and everyone decides not to have children, we're not going to have a civilization. It's not that hard to diagnose that A to B, right? Or to diagram that A to B. It's very easy.
Right.
You don't have to be given a whole bunch of data points
Right.
to prove your point. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's almost as obvious as saying, well, what happens if we don't have oxygen anymore in the atmosphere? Will that be a good thing or a bad thing?
We don't know.
People will die.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would say all people would die.
Right.
So why are they not seeing this, Devin? Why? Maybe they don't want to. What's your take?
My take is that if we want to conserve the past, we want to conserve values. The past and values are not us. We want to conserve. We want to have hope for the future in children. Children are not us. Desires, weird identities, weird perversions, that's us. And they're living in this selfish, and I think selfish should be a very bad word, but they're living in a selfish world where if you're selfish, you don't care about the past, you don't care about the future, you don't care about other generations, other human beings. All you care about is yourself, and in that moment, you're not going to care about you in a year because that's not you. You just care about your carnal desires right now, your selfish wants.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that would explain. I mean, we call that the 5-minute rule, right? They can only see 5 minutes into the future and only care about 5 minutes in the past. But, okay, so that would explain why they feel okay about the cashless bail and not criminalizing this or that crime.
Right.
Because it doesn't affect them directly.
Yeah.
So it's all about selfishness. Is that fair to summarize your point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or also with the police, they have the best one. No, the more police there are, the more crimes.
Yeah, I see.
Which is no.
Yes. But I don't get it what you say. I mean, look, I'm going to punch a hole right through with a big truck.
Yep.
You see, the liberals are very compassionate.
Yeah.
And they're very understanding and they're tolerant. So that runs afoul of your whole argument, sir.
Completely. Yeah, because conservatives, and especially the religious people, are always talking about how they haven't lived up to the ideal of God. Liberals, always at that ideal. Oddly, they never talk about how they have actually failed that ideal of God, failed their values. Where conservatives tend to live in the world where they're like, no, I messed up on that.
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
And now I have the consequence.
Well, they have a standard by which they can say something I did was wrong.
Right.
There's a scale.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you didn't have any short people or tall people, if you were the only person on the planet, as they believe that they are, apparently, you wouldn't know whether you're short or tall,
right,
relative to the rest of people, humans, your age and your gender, right? You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And that's what it is with their moral standards. They don't have anything out there by which to measure whether what they're doing is right or wrong.
Right.
I mean, they claim to understand right and wrong, but they really don't.
No.
All right. Anyway, we should move on.
Yeah.
Because I love this whole cause and effect. But studying liberals is like studying, I don't know. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
But there's some things in life that you just will never understand.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Women. Okay. No, did I say that? Did I? No. You'll edit that out, won't you? Totally. Yeah. No, I mean, really, it's very hard to understand liberals. You as soon as you think you've got it, it kind of like disappears.
Yeah.
They're an enigma wrapped inside a riddle, wrapped inside a mystery.
Yeah.
As they used to say of the Soviet Union in the old days, right? And the same thing is true with atheists. Same thing is true with feminists, like we said. All right. U.S. economic growth surged in the third quarter of 2025.
Nice.
It grew at 4.3% annual rate, faster than the previous 3 months.
Nice.
The U.S. economy grew at a vigorous pace through the end of September, despite the uncertainty created by tariffs and widespread concerns about affordability among households. This is according to the White House.
Yeah.
Economic growth rose at a 4.3% annual rate in the third quarter, the Commerce Department, reported on Tuesday. The third quarter readings show that even in the face of negative consumer sentiment and a softening job market, which I highly doubt, by the way, this is from the New York Times, by the way, the roughly $30 trillion economy starting October on relatively solid footing as a whole, outperforming the bearish expectations of some experts only months before.
Nice.
It shows an economy that is mostly solid, actually still firing on most cylinders, if not all cylinders.
They're trying so hard not to give it to Trump. They're trying so hard.
No, but that's a fantastic line, right?
That is. Yeah.
And here's the plot twist.
Yeah.
It was from the New York Times.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But they really can't help themselves. They still try to marginalize it, just like you said.
Yeah. Mostly on everything.
Yeah. Though Michael Pierce, chief U.S. economist at Oxford Economics, says, I still think we have a lot of noise in the quarter-to-quarter data. Most of the strength is coming from wealthier households.
Oh.
Those bastards who are wealthy are helping the economy.
The people who have money are spending it.
Yeah, because usually the GDP is just for poor people, and they made it just for rich people. What are you saying, Mr. Pierce?
And what? He's a national person, but he's at Oxford, England? Or is it like Oxford, Ohio?
I think he's a traitor.
Yeah. Come on.
Increased military spending also helped power growth forward in the middle of the year. Disposable personal income after taxes and adjusted for inflation was flat, a sign of nagging inflation still eating into purchasing power.
Yeah.
Total corporate profits rose by $166 billion in the third quarter compared to an increase of okay, never mind that. And business cooled.
Yeah.
Okay. But wait, what's this? Also from the New York Times.
Yeah.
Later, 2 days later.
Okay, 2 days later.
Inflation unexpectedly slowed to 2.7% in November. So much for his previous argument that it was adjusted for inflation. Bad things were happening because of nagging inflation.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah.
That any nagging inflation was an echo from the Biden years, where it went up to 21% at one point.
It was brutal.
And now it's down to 2.7%, and you're complaining about it?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was an unexpected slowing in November. You can hear them yelling, "Doh!" in the background. Anyway, they write, the latest consumer price index was below what economists had expected and likely reflects what they called distortions caused by the government shutdown. Oh, my God. They cannot give Trump any credit. It has to be because of the government shutdown, a distortion.
Yeah.
You can ignore this.
Yeah.
Because it's good news.
Right.
It can't be. If, however, it was something like 6.7%, let's say, they would say, you see, we were right about Trump.
Yeah. It is brutal.
Anyway, it's weird for them to say it. It's like them saying, like, I hear that fruit is normally good for you.
Yeah.
But there's an exception. You know when that is, by the way? When it's sour grapes.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening on here right now. There's also employment gains doing very well, almost entirely from the private sector, by the way. Private, not the public sector.
Right.
Which is the game that the Biden administration played all the time. They would hire a whole bunch of people. It's easy enough to hire 100,000 people.
Right.
For the government, and then say, well, look at this. The jobs gains are amazing.
Yeah.
But this is from the private sector. You can't fake that.
Yeah. And then 3 months later, they would always have to
readjust. Yes,
readjust.
That's right.
They never. God, yeah.
All right, Barry Weiss.
Oh,
that's Bari, who is recently been named CEO or president of CBS News.
Yeah.
Pulled the 70-minute investigation piece on the prison in El Salvador, which they wanted to do an expose on. Why did she want to do that? Because she says it's not done. You're not getting appropriate perspectives from the conservative side as to why this is an appropriate thing to do and all that.
Nice.
Okay, because it was a hit piece against Trump.
Right.
And the left is outraged about this. What are you trying to hide and all that stuff? Okay, the left loves only presenting their unilateral story of any particular hot piece item.
Right.
That's the way they are.
Yeah.
And you saw this also in the January 6th subcommittee investigation, right?
Yeah.
It was
Produced
all
by
Democrats.
CBS.
Yeah, produced by CBS. That's good. All liberals.
Yeah.
Of course, all the Democrats. They just concocted story after story, including that story. I mean, hearsay after hearsay, including the story where the head driver told the back driver that Trump had reached over and moved the steering wheel in the direction he wanted them to go to. Left to the front.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Grab the steering wheel.
And you and I were saying, well, shouldn't we talk to that driver?
Yeah.
Instead of hearing the hearsay statement of some woman who says that that's what happened.
Yeah.
But they took that whole hog and thought, wow, that's really something. He took the steering wheel and he turned it to the left, forcing the driver to do that. Well, get the driver.
Yeah.
And they did get the driver. The driver said, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're crazy.
No, but they heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend.
Oh, it's the best kind.
From a friend.
That is the most accurate kind of investigation. That is journalism, my friend.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Anyway, so Barry Weiss wants to, it says, look, this is the classic hit piece.
Yeah.
You're not presenting both sides of this issue. I want to present both sides. It's not ready.
Right.
Okay, you're missing some key ingredients into this bakery.
Yeah.
That's it. And they're so upset with her. Good for her. This is what journalism is all about.
Yeah.
She's not saying that she doesn't want to actually have the piece about the prison ever.
Yeah.
She's just saying we need to have context.
Yeah.
But you don't want the context, do you?
Yeah.
You want to believe what you want to believe. And that's what liberals are. They always do this.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say liberals never ask you why you believe what you believe. They tell you what you believe.
Right.
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because you just might say something that makes sense to them.
Right.
God forbid.
Right.
Okay. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you're talking about the prisons or you're talking about cashless bail, which I can see on some levels, can we talk about the victims too? Equal time on the victims.
Right.
What they had to suffer.
Oh,
that
beautiful.
young 8-year-old girl who's no longer with us and the horrifying 3 days or 3 hours that she had before that end. Why don't we focus on that as well? Yeah. And then we can talk about whether the prison is okay or not.
Or the victims of fentanyl abuse, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and the families of those victims.
All they care about is what they see, which is the drug boats being blasted out of the water, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. They can care about that if they want, but would you mind caring about the victims too?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, the context, yeah.
Likewise, Epstein files.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Epstein files have been released fully by act of Congress. And who was asking for it? Donald J. Trump.
Right.
He said, release them.
Yeah.
And he got the act of Congress.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It was bipartisan. That was good. But he was the one who got it done.
Right.
And they're trying to say, okay, now we're going to find out that Trump was, in fact, behind this. I highly doubt that.
No.
Okay. And the documents have been released. And now we're finding out that Trump had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
There's the documents, very excitedly by the New York Times, reference Donald Trump. Ooh.
Of course, he's a person in power.
Ooh, he's going to get it. It's coming to him right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But first of all, he ended his friendship with Epstein a long time ago, knowing what a scoundrel, what an awful, evil man he was. He didn't know before. And he was flying in a jet with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Was he at the island having sex with minors?
Yeah.
That's the question everyone wants to know. And merely saying that he's referenced in a couple of documents doesn't mean a thing. You want it to mean something.
Yeah.
But if there were something much more substantive, you would have shown it.
And that is exactly goes back to what you're saying, where they don't care about the victims. They don't care about the horror. They don't care about the culprits. They have the whole Epstein thing.
Right.
And all they care about is, how do I get this one person that I don't like because they've told me not to like him?
Right.
Even though I really can't say why I don't like him because,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they also complained that they released it on Friday the 19th of December, and a soft news cycle and everything else. Well, that was the deadline that the act of Congress set.
Yeah.
So they'd set it on the deadline that they were required to send it.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Slick Willie lashes out at Trump over the Epstein files release.
Our
He
Slick
didn't like
Willie?
it. Yeah, Slick Willie, Bill Clinton.
Donald Trump, you can't do that.
And this is from Red State. The White House has been hiding these files for months only to dump them late on a Friday to protect Bill Clinton, the spokesperson said. This is about shielding themselves from what comes next or from what they'll try and hide forever.
Yeah.
That's Bill Clinton. They're talking about Bill Clinton here.
Yeah.
We return to the story that won't go away, the Jeffrey Epstein saga. The deceased pedophile, meaning Epstein, continues to dominate headlines over 6 years after his death, mostly because there are rumors that high-profile individuals were involved. And if their enemies can prove it, they can be ruined.
Yeah.
And after this Friday evening, news broke out, and then Bill Clinton, there are many snaps of former President Bill Clinton with some girls.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that he was engaging with them just by virtue of the pictures. They're blurred out, the faces and everything else, but who knows? But he was seen with unknown women in a pool, a jacuzzi, and at dinners and other occasions, unlike a certain man named Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Okay? The story has gone viral, and Slick Willie is obviously feeling the heat because he released a snippy statement Friday where he absolved himself of all responsibility and blamed Trump for some reason. And that's the quote I just mentioned.
Yeah.
This statement is all too easy to ridicule for two reasons. One, the Biden White House, of course, had the files for 4 years and did nothing.
Yeah.
To release them. Two, the recent release on Friday was done because they were required to do so. I mentioned that. The fact that now this is from Nick Sorter, also in the Red State article.
Yeah.
The fact Democrats and legacy media are radio silent over the Epstein files after it was revealed Bill Clinton was routinely hanging out in private with victims is incredibly telling. They don't give two S's about the victims. This is what you were saying.
Yeah.
This is nothing more than a political football for them.
Yeah.
All these things will hash out, and they're so sure that Trump is there that they don't realize that they're opening up a huge can of worms that's only going to hurt them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his 3D chess. Like
Yes.
he actually got them to push to release it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So the former president, Bill Clinton, wasn't done. And here's what he said. So they can release as many grainy 20-plus-year-old photos as they want, but this isn't about Bill Clinton. Never has, never will be. He hopes that will take some sort of, have some sort of legs when he says that.
Yeah.
And again, from Red State. I'm still reading from Red State.
Yeah.
But wait, isn't that exactly what the Democrats have been doing for years now? Holding up decades-old photographs of Epstein and Trump in the same room together and shrieking, "Ha, got you now?"
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
The difference is that we don't have any pictures of Trump in a pool with women, is what I said.
Yeah.
Nor has any record been uncovered of him flying on Epstein's private plane to the island, no less, dubbed the Lolita Express. Ugh, yuck. Over 20 times for Clinton.
Yeah.
Also, was Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell doing? What was she doing, Ghislaine Maxwell, at Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's fire involved with Clinton and Epstein's relationship, but there sure seems to be a hell of a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clinton is really trying to make clear that he has no involvement here whatsoever. This is evil to even associate with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, the jury's still out, literally. We don't know. But there is smoke when it comes to Bill Clinton. There is no smoke when it comes to Trump. If there were anything, God forbid, that Trump was involved with even one girl for one time, on the island or off the island, you and I would condemn him. I don't care what good he may have done in the past. We wouldn't say, well, gosh golly, that's bad, but think of all the good he's done as president.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I would say, get this man out of office, replace him with J.D. Vance or somebody good like J.D. Vance, and let's continue on. But this man, Trump, is a bad man. You and I would say that.
Yeah, of course.
But there's nothing like that.
No.
Okay, so these references, comment that you're making is slanderous.
Yeah.
It's a libel because you want it to be so badly. You're blinding yourselves into hating him so much. Your TDS is so strong that you can't see that your own Bill Clinton is probably somebody, who's got a lot of smoke up his ass, as they say.
Flew
To use
to
that
the
word.
island a lot.
Yeah.
Via flight logs. And we've known this for a
Yeah,
while.
highly questionable.
Yeah.
Highly, it's not 100%. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt yet.
Yeah.
But these photos really raise a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough about that. Immigration. During the Christmas season, the U.S. taxpayer is now generously tripling the incentive to leave voluntarily for those in this country illegally, offering a $3,000 exit bonus.
Nice.
But just until the end of this year,
Yeah.
said Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Nice. Yeah.
Illegal aliens should take advantage of this gift and self-deport, because if they don't, we will find them, we will arrest them, and they will never return.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
Fantastic.
how it should be.
That
Yeah.
is the way it rolls, baby. I just love it.
Yeah.
You see all these old photos now, old video clips of Biden saying, "Oh, what can I do about this immigration? The Republicans won't agree to a bill to help me, stop the flow of the border. I'm so confused. Where am I and who am I?"
Yeah.
Okay,
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, that's right. Go ask what's his name? What was the kid that he always talked about? Cracker Pop or whatever. What was it?
Yeah. What was that? It was Snap Pop or something. Yeah. It was,
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Over and over again, they would say this crazy stuff.
He was a bad dude.
Just a bad dude. Okay, so check this out from Hunter Biden, who's now talking about his dad, and it's not altogether flattering. Here you go.
Anybody that's running for president, if they could fix the immigration issue, would try to fix the immigration issue. Right? Because we need immigration. We need a vibrant immigration. But we don't want immigrants that are coming here illegally, draining us of resources, and also and being prioritized above people that are actual literal heroes that are coming home, or that are still recovering from 20 years of endless war.
Okay, so that was a really great speech from Speaker Mike Johnson. I really thought, oh, wait, you say that was Hunter Biden?
That was Hunter Biden.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I mean, these are Republican talking points.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything he just said, at least in this clip.
Yeah.
And why is he saying it in this
Yeah.
podcast? It was weird. I mean, is he planning to run for president himself one day? I don't know, but I'm certainly not going to vote for him. Don't worry.
It would be a fun campaign.
It would be bizarre.
Yeah. Bizarre is a better word than
But
fun.
Kamala Harris already did run that campaign. As
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, I think she's high as a kite all the time.
Oh, God,
My
yeah.
opinion. I think she's drunk all the time. My opinion.
Yeah.
Don't know for a fact.
So
but
cross-faded, I think they call it. The kids call it when you're on both. But
oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, you would know. I don't. Anyway,
Kamala knows.
going back
She
to
does,
Hunter
yeah.
Biden, I think it's really interesting that he says this. It
Yeah.
just what's prompting him to say this in the first place? Is there a feud going on between he and his mother, or Jill Biden maybe?
could be.
Maybe he resents something that Joe had done or said to him. I believe that at this point Joe is suffering from full dementia.
Yeah.
So whatever he says, you got to say, okay, well, sorry, Dad. Just go back in your corner now, Dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think he could literally be angry with him, but I think he can be angry for what he did in the past.
Yeah.
And there's something weird going on there. But anyway, the point is illegal immigration. He's got this right, and even Hunter Biden could figure this out.
Yeah.
If somebody as brain dead as he could figure out how easy it is to stop the flow of the border and do it right, and the reasons why one needs to focus on the border, well, then maybe it was that simple after all.
Right.
I mean, Trump certainly showed it, and almost instantly, right? How many months did it take to get to virtually zero illegal immigration at the border?
It was pretty quick.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. By the way, he also spoke about, in the same interview, he spoke about Afghanistan. And he was asking what are the mistakes of the Biden administration of the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And this is what Hunter Biden had to say.
I think one of the failures was the way in which they executed the withdrawal from Afghanistan. I think it was an obvious failure. I think 13 Marines are dead. I think that there was a better way to do it. And I think that, I can blame it on his generals. I can blame it on the people, the way in which we did it. But my dad always knew this also, is that the buck stops with him. I think that was a failure.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with everything you said there, too.
Yeah.
And these are lifted directly from Republican talking points. I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if in advance of his preparation for this, he just said, okay, what do the Republicans have to say? And I'll just repeat it.
Yeah.
And that's what we would say.
Yeah, or his lifestyle, like he's a fan of gun ownership, not a big fan of gun laws. You know,
Right.
like he has some libertarian at least streaks in him.
Right.
So like the guy's not. Yeah, I could see both ways with that guy. Like it would be a fun campaign. But
All right. I want to talk about the Jewish world and Israel for a bit. So this is weird. Belgium withdrew federal police protection from Antwerp's Jewish quarter, or issued an order to withdraw federal police protection starting January 1 of this coming year, which would end the deployment of 16 officers despite rising anti-Semitism worldwide. Antwerp Mayor Van Doesburg called the decision incomprehensible, which it was. They reversed it.
nice.
Okay, they initially planned it, then they reversed that, leading to by the Interior Minister Bernard Quintin, who announced that federal police officers would remain deployed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but the fact that they even considered this,
Yeah.
that something is very odd about that. And Belgium, by the way, has a huge Muslim population. You think of France and England. Belgium is far, far worse in terms of the illegal, or legal for that matter, Muslim invasion of that country.
Yeah.
And to not protect the Jewish community from massive slaughter, would you want that on your hands? I mean, don't you think that's what's going to happen?
Yeah. I think they
Talk about cause and effect, right?
Yeah. I think they know, and I think I don't see something coming, but like the immigration in Europe, especially what they're doing in the United States, like it seems like it's a buildup to something.
Something.
And pulling out the guards.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, so what are you planning in early January? Because it's got to be. That's not the only thing you want.
Yeah, it's a really mystery,
Yeah.
but I think it's placating, and maybe the goal was to tell the Jews in Antwerp, in the Jewish quarter, saying, "Hey, look, we're not going to protect you anymore. Maybe you ought to leave."
Yeah.
And that seems to be. I don't think they wanted a wholesale slaughter, because that would look bad. To some extent, I think lefties, are concerned what people think in the world. That's just not a good reputation. But that would blow over. Eventually the Bondi Beach attack will blow over.
Oh, yeah.
Tragically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But such an attack in Belgium, that would blow over too.
Right.
But easier for them simply to say, get out of here. We can't protect you anymore.
Right.
And then you would have less of a country that's somehow friendly to Jews. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful stuff.
Yeah.
And there are only so many Jews on the planet. We keep on saying it's 14 million on a good day.
Yeah.
I said 14 million, not billion.
No.
Million.
Right.
Compared to 1.9 billion Muslims, 2.5 billion Christians and Catholics.
Yeah.
And, a couple billion, miscellaneous.
Right.
Right? So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we can't afford the slaughter of so many people. Anyway, people on the right understand this very well.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, I've often rejected this, this mantra that somehow there is anti-Semitism rising on the right. And you've got Tucker Carlson and you've got Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Yes, those people are idiots.
Yeah.
They're rising on their own individual rights. I don't know that they're actually affecting people.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out that the supposed split among the right about Israel is a farce.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
After all the talk about a growing divide, this is from Town Hall.
Yeah.
After all the talk about a growing divide among conservatives over the issue of Israel, it turns out that the straw poll at TPUSA, right after the recent AmFest conference, shows that the vast majority of attendees agree that Israel is either the best or one of the best allies that the United States has.
That's just a fact.
It's a fact.
How can you, whether you're like, oh, I don't like, like well, they're still.
Oh, I see.
Like,
You're saying that they're just acknowledging it, but I think what they're saying is it should be. It's great because the word "best"
right
is
no.
the,
I'm saying it's just a fact. It's like it's even no matter how much you are anti-Semitic, it's still a fact.
You're saying Yasser Arafat
yeah.
and
they're not good
the
allies.
Hamas leaders would agree that America's best ally is Israel.
100%.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're just saying that they're saying it as a fact.
Yeah.
I see. I think they're actually saying that that's the way it should be as well.
No, and I think no, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. All right. Brent Scherer says this: for those who think Tucker and Candace are winning, 87% of the TPUSA audience thinks Israel is an ally. One-third said Israel's top ally. This is the one issue Tucker talks about. They've convinced nobody.
Yeah.
This is from David Riaboy. If you look on social media or listen to most podcasts on the right, the result of this poll is shocking. But it would make sense as it reflected the loud applause that Ben Shapiro got.
Yeah.
And it was really an amazing thing.
Right.
And the awkward silences when Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon took their shots.
Yeah.
But it's even more curious then that J.D. Vance, in fact, before we even get to that point, let's play that clip from Steve Bannon.
Now, Benji Shapiro sat up here last night, and he was all, I'm going to, it's all about the truth. Ben, I've known you a long time, brother. You can't handle the truth. Let's face it, Ben Shapiro is the farthest thing from MAGA. Let's be blunt. He is a hardcore never-Trumper. He's a hardcore never-Trumper. In the spring of 16, he tried to upend Breitbart. He walked off the job, made a big deal about some incident in Mar-a-Lago with Corey Lewandowski. He tried to turn it to Ted Cruz from Donald Trump because he hated Donald Trump. In the general election, he barely supported Donald Trump. The first sign of when President Trump gets sent back to Mar-a-Lago, the very first individual that jumped on the Ron DeSantis train, the Israel First train, was Ben Shapiro. And those are the darkest days we had. In 21 and 22, you guys were there. He's consistently been against Trump, and now that President Trump doesn't back the Greater Israel Project. What is Greater Israel? It's not about Israel itself. It's about an expansionist Israel, an imperial Israel that Netanyahu and that crowd have thought up. And the Israel First crowd is Ben Shapiro, Tel Aviv Mark Levin, and many others that want to put that ahead of America's interests.
All right, so that's a fascinating clip. Okay, and I present it not, of course, to really give a platform for Steve Bannon or to agree with anything that he said, which is nonsensical. I want you to listen, to have listened to the anger in his voice, how he talks about, the Israel First politics and everything else. He really clearly hates Israel.
Yeah.
Steve Bannon. But more important was how his attack on Ben Shapiro was met with very little applause.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a big applause.
This is a crowd of 30,000. Yeah. That's bigger than the number of people in this very room right here, right now. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, barely, but
just to give you perspective.
Yeah.
Anyway, that crowd barely clapped.
Yeah.
And it only goes to show. And some of them toward the end started booing him.
Right.
So at least that's what I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, so it only goes to show, very consistent with this poll that was taken, that people are not with Steve Bannon, not with Tucker Carlson, not with Candace Owens.
Right.
Something's changing there. At least it's not changing, it's being noticed, finally.
Yeah.
And then I said that it's even more curious then that J.D. Vance seems to believe that the running cover for that 13% is a political winner, the 13% that said that Israel's not our ally.
Right.
Based on the poll, 33% of TPUSA attendees would be described as pro-Israel hardliners.
Right.
That's a lot, a third.
Yeah.
And an additional 54% describe the Jewish state as an ally. So you'd think that the discussion about this issue would roughly reflect that reality, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's exactly the opposite. People like Carlson and Vance, and I would also add Bannon and Owens, are trying very hard to change the facts on the ground when it comes to the U.S. relationship with Israel before 2028.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. It's like someone is saying that I don't know, a man could become a woman.
Right.
I mean, that's how absurd it would be.
Right.
But nobody would ever argue that.
No. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, good news on the TPUSA front. I'm very happy about this.
Right.
Later on in the podcast, in the Charlie Kirk podcast, Andrew, I forget his last name. Whatever. I'll
Clavin or
no. It doesn't matter right now.
Yeah.
Andrew, I know.
Yeah.
I know his name is Andrew.
Yeah.
And it'll come to me after this podcast is done. But as always,
Yeah.
But he was very happy about this.
All right.
And he also talked to Megyn Kelly, who was also very happy about this. And she
Really?
said, "I'm very pro-Israel. I want Israel to win. And she said, I know it sounds like a cliche, but most of my friends are Jewish,
Right.
and they're very pro-Israel too.
Yeah.
And it was really a nice love fest going on there.
Yeah.
And they loved the fact that people loved Israel.
Right.
Okay. So no changing the platform. On the contrary, if anything, it's more pro-Israel
Right.
than anything else.
Yeah.
More on Israel or Jewish life.
Yeah.
The hero of the Bondi Beach attack, who was a Muslim man named Ahmed something.
Yeah.
He apparently the people in Gaza, the Hamas crowd in Gaza, didn't like it.
Really?
They were upset with him
Really?
for stopping another Muslim from doing his glorious, slaughter of Jews.
Yeah.
What? So it's like, dude, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Not cool, man.
Yeah.
You get with the program. We're supposed to kill the Jews.
Like, bro, next thing you're going to say we're a peaceful religion. Come on, man, bro.
You're actually buying into this crap from the West.
No, that's just
saying
how we say that. Yeah.
Dude, it's just a talking point.
Yeah.
All right. This is from JNS. Hours after banning use of the phrase, this is good news. Globalize the Intifada at protests, police in London have arrested 4 people for using it in an anti-Israel rally on Wednesday night.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good news in a sense because, they don't care about free speech in Britain anyway.
Yeah.
But so they arrested these 4 for globalized Intifada. Okay, yeah. So if you're not going to respect free speech, then please be even about it. And
Right.
at least they're doing something about it now.
Yeah.
The arrest in front of the Ministry of Justice headquarters in London at a Palestine coalition protest were for racially aggravated public order offenses, all involving the alleged shouting or chanting of slogans involving calls for intifada. The Metropolitan Police said in a statement that the arrest was made for obstruction of a constable.
Yeah.
So the police in Manchester announced on Wednesday that the slogan "Globalize the Intifada" will now be considered hate speech, and that people using it will face arrest in the future.
That is actually the best news I've heard from England in
It's
years.
great news. It's great
That
news.
is amazing.
We'll see if they
Yeah.
actually live up to it.
Yeah.
If they'll galvanize
Yeah.
the laws, like they'll speak truth on the issues, but never actually enforce them.
Yeah.
We'll see. Meanwhile, California Democrats have been silent on that radical anti-Israel group's foiled Los Angeles bomb plot.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? This is only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were planning to. They were arrested. They were planning to blow up all sorts of places in Los Angeles. This group, Turtle Island Liberation Front, planning to blow up buildings in L.A. marked by painted Hamas triangles,
Jesus.
which is an indication of their support for Hamas. This is the salience factor, folks. This is the things that you don't notice when things don't blow up.
Right.
You don't notice that they weren't blown up.
Right.
You only notice when they were blown up.
Yeah.
So Bondi Beach, for example, if somehow we were able to stop these guys, or a couple of good guys with guns, or were able to subdue these 2 attackers, and foil the entire thing, and nobody was harmed, then the celebration would have gone on.
Right.
And nobody would be talking about Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know Bondi Beach is a place in Australia, for that matter.
Yeah.
Most people.
Right.
But we just have to appreciate when things do get foiled like this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
In Tehran, signs in Hebrew have been placed in Palestine Square. Apparently there's a big place
There's
called
a
Palestine Square.
Jesus.
In Tehran, yeah.
I think I know where we can send all the people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We've
It's
got a
already
great
named
place for you.
them. It's named for them. Yeah.
Anyway, the signs in Hebrew were placed in the Palestine Square saying, "We will turn your nights into days. Well, that sounds kind of nice,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like with dark days, and you want to turn them to days.
Yeah.
And it's just,
You're depressed. It's a dark day.
Yes. All of a sudden, the sun is out. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. They're showing pictures of missile attacks against Israel. That kind of day.
Yeah.
So wise, those people.
Yeah.
All right. A couple more points to talk, and then we should probably wrap it up. But there's recent news from the We Told You So files. Okay. This is about the election integrity of 2020.
Yeah.
From the Federalist. Okay.
Yeah.
This is no small organization
Yeah.
that's not reputable. It's very reputable.
Yeah.
Earlier this month, Fulton County from Georgia admitted that approximately 315,000 early votes from the 2020 election were illegally certified, but were nonetheless still included in the final results of that election.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
So are they going to get impeached and or indicted for saying that?
You would think so.
Equal justice. People,
There's more. There's
yeah.
more. The admission came during a December 9 hearing before the Georgia State Election Board, stemming from a challenge filed by David Cross, a local election integrity activist. Cross filed a challenge with the SEB in March 2022. Remember that pipe bursting?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all a big lie.
Wait, what?
The pipe bursting was the thing where they
Yeah, no, I remember. They shot everything down.
and
yeah.
that flood was so big.
Yeah.
So big that it affected Michigan, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
affected Pennsylvania, I believe,
Mexico,
also.
yeah.
New Mexico. Why
Yeah.
not New Mexico?
Yeah.
It was a pretty damn big flood.
And then they pulled out the votes from the plastic thing, which is where they keep the votes.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. All I'm saying is if they did not account for these
Yeah.
and they were not, what was it, signed, illegally certified, rather, then we've got a huge problem. That's a lot of votes. It's not one or two fraudulent votes. It's 315,000
margin?
early votes. They were illegally certified.
If they hadn't done that, would Trump have won the presidency?
In Georgia, for sure.
And that would have been the presidency, I think, right? Or no?
It would have been pretty damn close. But it's just one
Wow.
example
Yeah.
of the many efforts they undertook to play funny.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, you can say we're conspiracists on this if you like. You could say that we're just kind of trotting out this old canard about the election integrity of 2020, but this is new.
Yeah.
If it's true, okay, I assume it's true. If 315,000 early votes were not legally certified, but still included in the final results, that's a problem.
That's a big problem. Yeah.
And I think, if you present that to a liberal, you would say, would you agree that if it's true that you have a problem?
Yeah.
And I would hope that a liberal would say, yeah, I would agree. I don't know that that's going to be found out to be true, but yes, if it is found out to be true, and why wouldn't you believe it? They found it. Okay, so why are you so certain that you're right? You're trusting some unknown face and believe in them blindly that they certified it legally?
Right.
You want to challenge them on that?
Yeah.
Okay. They've got a problem.
Yeah.
And we all have a problem. If they could fool the population with 315,000 votes like that, then we've really have an election integrity issue.
Yeah.
Okay. From the New York Times, Trump moves to end the access to gender-related care for minors.
What does that mean? Because that's a very coded word. Is that the transgender stuff? Or
you and I know what is actually meant. But anyway, if finalized, the new rules would effectively shut down hospitals that fail to comply. The administration's action represents a major cultural attack on the existence of transgender people. Devin, why won't someone think of the transgender people?
Yep, the transgender children. The transgender.
The administration's action is not just a regulatory shift, but the latest signal that the federal government does not recognize even the existence of people whose gender identity does not align with their sex at birth. Okay, why? Okay, this is the New York Times. Okay, where do you get this?
Yeah.
That we don't recognize the existence of people. Where does it say in the proposed legislation or the new rules that we do not even think that there is such a thing as trans people? Where does it say that?
Yeah.
They just invent that.
Yeah.
And this is from the New York Times. They're supposed to be better. They're not.
Yeah.
But they're constantly flailing and throwing out these things and trying to say that this is the end of the world. We're simply saying for minors, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
They don't have capacity.
Right.
And then they say, if finalized, the rule would be a death sentence. Hospitals have such razor-thin margins as it is, said Caroline Farrell, a former lawyer in the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Division. Wait. Did you just say the quiet part out loud?
Yeah.
That this is about money?
Yep.
That if we don't allow them to perform gender surgery on minors, that would mean a death sentence to their financial abilities?
Yeah.
This is why you're fighting this? That's what's really going on.
Yeah.
They don't think about the children at all.
No.
This means, the proposed rule, means just forcing them to stop the care, she said. It would prevent Medicaid from paying for the treatments for minors. Why is Medicaid paying for this?
Yeah.
I didn't agree to this.
No.
Why is it so holy? Medicaid. Why? And why is the treatment for minors important at all?
Right.
You've decided, you've gotten yourself into a tizzy that if they don't get these surgeries or hormone blockers or puberty blockers, whatever they call them, that they will kill themselves.
Right.
Right? Instead of just talking to a therapist.
Yeah.
Instead of not convincing their own children that they might be the opposite sex.
Yeah.
How about that? Why don't we start with that?
Yeah.
Don't lean into your child's decision or thought that he might be the opposite sex. Just say, no, you're a boy.
Yeah.
Got a penis. Look, boy.
Right. And why don't we throw a lot of the money into, like, golly gee, since the 2000s, 2010s, no one ever thought that they were the other gender. It was never a thing. And then suddenly there's a spike in people thinking it was. Why don't we investigate that? Where did that little cultural cancer come from? Because 80s, 70s, 60s, that didn't exist.
Yeah, you're so right about that.
Yeah.
All right, we only have a couple more minutes,
Yeah.
but I want this is like the outrage culture that we're experiencing. Like we just read from this woman, the Destins. No,
Yeah.
they won't be able to keep the lights on.
We can't care.
We need
for
to
them.
cut off genitals so that we can keep the lights on in this hospital.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because Obamacare was that good. They have
Good
to
point.
find
That's right.
alternative streams of
I can
income.
just see like the commercial now. Like, won't you help St. John's survive?
Yeah.
For every $10, we're able to cut off more testicles. Each $10 represents another testicle cut. Like, is that the message you're going to send?
Yeah.
And you think that's a good thing? You think that sounds good?
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. That's what I want to revisit these people 20 years from now, when this whole transgender surgery business goes away, and say, "Are you ashamed of what you said?"
Yeah.
Because I think some people will.
Yeah.
Some people will.
Oh, they'll say like, no, but we cared. We were wrong.
Our intentions
but we
were good.
cared.
Yeah, that's because
Our
that's all that
intentions
matters.
Were pure.
Yes. So were the Nazis.
Yeah.
Their intentions were to get rid of riffraff and undesirable people,
Yeah.
quote unquote undesirable, and that they would make a superior race. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
We want the best for humanity.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they say the same thing here?
Yeah.
All right. A current Democrat Michigan state senator and candidate for U.S. Senate, Mallory McMorrow, admits that if she met particular Supreme Court justices at a tailgating party, she would throw beers at them and get violent. And candidate for U.S. Okay. I love these thought experiments that they create for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, why tailgating party?
Yeah.
What if you met them at tailgating party? No, what about church? Would you not throw beers at them then?
Yeah.
Why beer?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so that's weird. But it's always the women who are. I mean, mostly. You have a couple of examples like Chuck Schumer, but Maxine Waters and this woman and the woman who, tried to prevent the illegal immigrant from being arrested and such like that.
Yeah.
They all feel very, very good about themselves. So why? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Can a woman please write to me and explain why it's mostly women doing this?
Why can't you use your words? Why can't you say like, well, I would say these 3 points that I disagree with you on, and then listen to their responses?
Well, remember the 3 videos we played last week?
Yeah.
The crazy women, right? That was
shows,
it was
yeah.
it was totally freak shows, and they were all women. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
crazy, and she said, "Why can't you have a civilized discussion with me?" Remember that one?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you do understand this is not a discussion, first of all, and you're certainly not being civilized,
Yeah.
and you look out of control.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk with you at all, because if I actually brought up a point, I don't think it would be civilized.
Right.
All right. Check out this. Speaking about craziness, right?
Yeah.
So check out this video of this woman who is absolutely shocked and upset that the SNAP benefits are not going to be allowed to be used for junk food.
Yeah.
Okay. She has to actually use it for food. Okay. I love this. Check it out.
It's not even cool. Like, why they do that? What's the point of food stamps if it's just for real food? You know.
Yeah.
What's the point of food stamps if it's just for real food?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for food, lady.
Yeah. That's why it's called food
stamps.
Yeah. It's not treat stamps. Snack stamps.
My breath is taken.
Yeah.
That's the way the only way I can describe it. Her outrage.
Yeah.
Like she demands to be able to buy this for Coca-Cola and Cheetos and Doritos. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Why can't we put a limit on what you use this for? We don't want you to become obese so that we have to take care of you. By the way, we do the same thing with helmets and seatbelts.
Yeah.
Right. The whole purpose of that is to protect you. So why can't we limit the use of the funds that we give you for food to not be used for something else?
Yeah.
Isn't that a similar concept?
To reduce the cause of diabetes,
Right.
hypertension, like you're going to be healthier, lack of brain fog.
Right. We restrict you when you're driving a motorcycle.
Yeah.
We restrict you when you're driving a car by use of a seatbelt.
Right.
Why can't we restrict you from using the SNAP benefits for its intended purpose, which is real food?
Yeah.
Just idiots out there.
Yeah.
But as you know, at this segment, I always like to end with the wise words of Kamala Harris.
Yep. Not and much wiser.
You do not get wiser than Kamala Harris. She was on this podcast called Rich Little Broke Girls, and she said, once again, she manages to say a whole lot of nothing while thinking that she's saying something very wise. In her head, it's incredible how wise she is.
Yeah.
Like she knows, she just can't wait to be quoted. Here you go.
2 people can be in the exact same situation, ostensibly experiencing the very same thing in terms of what's happening around them. But their perception of what is happening will have everything to do with their actual experience. Right? And so it is important in any moment to try to be a bit objective and stand back a bit and realize what's at play. You know, for example, one of the things that I always, as I got older and more advanced in my career, I realized don't let the people who don't wish you well get in your head. Don't let them get in your head, because then they're winning. Right? Receive criticism, receive constructive criticism, but don't let things that are not productive get in your head and keep you up at night, because then they are winning.
All right. That's such wise. I mean, the wisdom is amazing here.
The wisdom is amazing.
We should play a game like what drug are you on?
Yeah.
What drug is she on, rather? I don't know. I don't know if she is or not, but she just strikes me like she is on something. Anyway, just that's my perception. But she notice how she goes from stand back and be objective, and then says, for example, don't let people get into your head. Well, wait a minute. Like, that's a completely different thought. I get that, but you blurred them together.
Yeah.
Like blurring, I don't know, ketchup with mayonnaise. I mean, it's not a good mix.
Yeah.
All right. Then she has some more wisdom for the future, for you in particular, Devin, I think.
But I want to say this. It is my nature to be optimistic, but I'm also a realist, okay? So I'm not going to let my spirit be defeated. But let me just tell you, I am fully aware of what's wrong and feel something about that. And so that's where I say that, these things coexist. One can be joyful. It is important to find moments to sing and dance and laugh and love and fight for what's right and be pissed off at injustice and be angry about abuse of power. And all these things can coexist, right? And so I'm not capable of not feeling those other things also. There are moments when I feel anger and sadness and frustration, but I'm not going to let that overtake the other thing.
Wow. That was so deep.
Yeah.
My mind is blown right now.
Yep.
The idea that you should not let your anger and your sadness take over who you are here.
Yeah.
Right here, mister.
Yeah.
I'm touched.
Yeah.
I'm touched. We really missed the opportunity to be led by this jewel of a woman.
Yeah.
It's the nation's loss, I suppose.
Oh my God, yeah.
This woman. And she might run for president again. It's really
so.
funny.
Yeah.
You hope so.
Oh my God, yeah. We can make America. Now look inside your heart.
God. Well, I will say that you have a lot of crazy things going on right now. Always crazy. The crazy part is that they're trying to stop Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know why they get so upset about him trying to stop the gender mutilation, for example.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get why they're upset that food stamps should only be going to food, as another example. I don't get why they are getting so upset that he's stopping construction on 5 wind farms off of the East Coast, which are just losing money for the government.
Yeah.
It's costing $25 billion. But New York Times again saying, but it was going to power 2.5 million homes and businesses.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's destroying the environment that you claim to love.
Yeah.
And it's a big waste of money.
Yeah.
And it says here, at a moment where demand for electricity has spiked because of the growth of data centers, the wind farms were expected to save consumers money. Oh,
Yeah.
It was expected. By whom exactly? You?
Yeah.
One of the projects, Vineyard Wind 1 off of Massachusetts, is already partially running. Well, it's partially running, then we're good.
Yeah.
That's why are you stopping this wonderful project?
Yeah.
And then there's the bullet train. I mean, we got to learn something from something.
Yeah.
Right. All we know is that these big projects lose money. It's a disaster. We got to stop it.
Yeah.
And that's cause and effect. When Democrats are on a project, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
There's never been a single policy. I've always challenged my liberal friends this. Name me one policy or law that the Democrats have advanced, which conservatives have rejected, have fought against,
Yeah.
that has worked.
Yeah.
Where you can say, wow, you guys were really right on that one, but we'll give that to you, but you're wrong in a lot of other things. I just want one.
No, I got one right now.
Tell me.
Civil rights, right? That was a Democrat one, right?
Oh, right. Yes,
Yeah?
yes. No.
Republicans,
No.
Democrats, yeah.
They say 3 things. Okay, civil rights is one of them.
Yeah.
And we know that that's not correct. It's the majority of them were actually Republicans who voted.
By far the majority, yeah.
Secondly, the New Deal
Yeah.
by Roosevelt, which was a disaster.
Completely horrible.
And then they say Social Security, which is actually part of the New Deal,
Yeah.
which is a disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that it's working. The fact that a program still exists doesn't mean that it's good.
No.
Obamacare still exists. It's a disaster.
Completely
All right?
horrible. Yeah.
So please spare me this nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, again, cause and effect. Whatever you guys cause, the Democrats, the effect is disastrous.
Yeah.
You should know that by now.
Yeah.
For that reason alone, you should become a Republican. That's it.
Yeah.
You can disagree with all the other stuff. Okay, the abortion stuff, the transgender policies, the limited government part. But I get it.
Yeah.
But what I just said now, whatever you guys advance always fails.
Yeah.
That should be an indication.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. It's not an opinion. There's not a single one.
Yeah.
And yet you keep on voting Democrat. it's a mystery wrapped inside a enigma, wrapped inside a puzzle, right? As I said before.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's it for tonight. And I want to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and a great New Year. And may the next year be fantastic. I think 2026 is just going to be fantastic with the economy just roaring, God willing.
Yeah.
Obviously, crazy things can happen, but right now we are poised to do really fantastic things. We're already at 4.3 GDP, like we said in the beginning of this podcast, and I think great things will happen even further beyond that.
Yeah.
God bless, be strong, and we'll talk with you next week.